Hello everyone! It has been quite some time since you have seen this opening screen from me, and this is for one main reason. I was unable to play multiplayer for quite a while, but I have actually resolved the issue, and it took me so long to finally get this under control. But I'm really happy to be doing this for you guys. I love Rome Total War. It's what got me into the Total War series. That is the only reason why you have not seen videos from me on this game, but all is resolved now, at least as far as I know. But I'm going to be bringing you guys some Rome Total War commentaries here. I actually have a couple saved up, but the first one I'm going to show you is my first match back, my absolutely first one back. And in this fight, I am using Carthage against the Britannians. Now, the Britannians rely a lot on their chariots and archer force. Their infantry force is not that great at all, so we will see how my opponent plays into this. They also have the very vicious head hurlers, which are a real problem. They can really lay into your infantry. Anyway, let's take a look at my army here first. I have 4 sets of slingers, 6 sets of Sacred Band pikemen. Here they are. My Sacred Band are gold apiece, then my slingers are silver each. I have 4 sets of Sacred Band cav, 2 on each flank, and 2 sets of Round Shield cav on each flank. And the Round Shield cav is going to mostly be used to harass the enemy missile troops. My Sacred Band cavalry is gold each, I think. Yeah, it looks that way. Then bronze each on each of my Round Shield cavalry. Anyway, this was actually my first match back, as I said, so definitely the controls are much different than in Shogun 2. The movement is a bit different. I'm going to have to get used to this camera once again, but I am really happy to be back with this game because I absolutely love Rome Total War, and I'm sure many of you out there do too, so I definitely wanted to bring you guys some commentaries on this, and you'll be seeing these along with Shogun 2. Do not think I'm giving up Shogun 2. I still really love Shogun 2, but I really love Rome as well, so I'll be doing both. Anyway, let's put this in triple speed, and I do actually like the fact how Shogun 2 starts out right when the battle begins, because then you don't have to wait through the process of setting your men up, but it's fine. We're just going to put in triple speed here. I believe it gets started here in just a couple of seconds, and then we'll take a look at my opponent's army. But let's take a look at my general here. There he is right there, and I cannot just express how happy I am to be back with this game. It took a lot of meddling with settings and whatnot to finally get this game back to working online, and boy am I happy I was able to resolve it because I was missing this game like crazy. Anyway, let's just wait for the battle to begin here. Once it actually starts, it's quite fast-paced, it really is. And you'll notice I have a couple little micro lapses, which I figured I would, considering I'm just getting back to Rome. And the controls are much different, the micromanagement is much different, you no longer have to group to move forward, and things of that nature. You only have to alt-click to move up in formation, which is nice. I actually prefer that to the groupings, because sometimes the groupings just mess up for me sometimes on Shogun 2. So I actually like the alt-clicking in this case. Anyway, this is actually taking quite a while. I really don't remember the setup stage being this long, but there we go. Okay, so let's put it in regular speed here. Now, here's my opponent's army. As you can see, he has formed a box-ish formation with his Britannian troops. Let's take a look. Out front, he has 2 sets of war bands, and these guys are probably going to be used as medium spears. They're going to probably keep away my cavalry, and sorry to be doing this on screen, but I cannot even hear a thing, so I'm assuming you can't either. Let's turn up the volume a bit. I want this to go over pretty well. Anyway, let's put it back in play here, and let's see the rest of his army. It's quite bunched up. His general is in a chosen sword unit, and all the rest of these guys are chosen swordsmen. So I'm going to wager a guess and say he has 6 chosen swordsmen. Then he brought head hurlers as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of head hurlers. Then he has 3 sets of barbarian cav, who he's going to bonsai for my slingers. Probably a smart move. Like I said, my micromanagement is nowhere near as good as it is in Shogun. But I'm going to pull back my slingers, and I end up trapping this barbarian cav, and they're going to rout from the field pretty darn quickly. Out over here, I'm going to start a fight with his Barbarian Cav using my round shields to charge in. Then I'm going to finish them off with my Sacred Band Cav out on this flank. And they're going to rout immediately because Barbarian Cavalry is light cavalry, and they cannot hold up against heavy cavalry and my round shields at the same time. Anyway, these head hurlers are really ridiculous. Also, he's going to activate Warcry now, which will help his men out in a melee. With these barbarian-type factions, you almost need to activate Warcry, as I remember, because otherwise their men are just kind of trash. Anyway, I have my slingers behind, and they're going to start slinging my opponent here. And here is when I decide to do something risky. I'm going to charge headfirst right into all of his men with my cavalry, and then immediately follow through with all my infantry. Now, like I said, this was a very risky tactic. This could have not worked out at all, but I figured it was worth it in the end. And I'm going to charge just straight in with all my cavalry, and this is going to really, probably, I'm assuming this really shocked him, because you don't see many people do this, and I wanted to be different in this case. Just being my first match back, I wanted to see what I could do. And this was a pretty, I guess, foolish move in some ways, but we'll see if it ends up paying off. I'm not going to reveal anything here. Over here I had a flank attack with my round shields. Got a nice little hammer and anvil there. And my cavalry is still holding here, and they're going to cut up a bunch of these guys. They're also into these head hurlers, which is really hurting them, so I was very happy to get into those guys. Also, my Sacred Band are just continuously pushing in on my opponent. And I am just launching continuous hammer and anvils over here with my round shields, which is always nice. But they're going to rout just because he basically turned all his men to face them. But as you can see, my tactic ended up working quite well. My Sacred Band hardly lost any men in their unit. My cavalry is really depleted, but it ended up pushing straight through, and there goes the enemy general. There he is right there.
Now attack and break the will of his followers.
So I'm just going to continue pushing up with my Sacred Band, and it's at this point that my opponent starts to get very upset, and he called me a hoplite spammer, which doesn't make sense for this rule set. It was 15k CWB, as are all the matches that I play. I had 6 Sacred Band, and I don't understand how I am a hoplite spammer for bringing the amount that is allowed, especially since he brought the 6 chosen swordsmen. So I guess he considers himself a sword spammer. I really don't understand his logic in that, but that is the Total War community is sometimes pretty stupid, I suppose I should say, but I still love the Total War community just because there's more courteous people than there are mean people, I suppose. That isn't always the case, but I've found that that's typically how things work out. There you can see all the heads on these head hurlers' waists. So that is basically going to end this match, and just because my opponent was upset, he's going to make me chase down all of his men. Luckily, I had cavalry left, and let's take a look at all these dead bodies. I mean, look at this just field of dead corpses. It's pretty insane how this ended up turning out here. And most of these bodies are my cavalry, and the rest are his infantry. You will rarely find any Sacred Band in this mix here, just because my cavalry is what really did them in. And that is one problem for these Britannian or more Eastern factions, more barbaric factions, I should say. They really are not the best factions. They are still winnable with, but they are not the best by any means. I like Carthage, I really do. So that's why I use them. They're my favorite faction, as you guys know. They don't have my favorite generals in the world, but they're still my favorite faction. And I really enjoy playing as these guys. Anyway, in order to quicken this process, I just ran my slingers up, and I'm going to toss my rocks over at these guys. They're going to get nailed, so there's not much they can really do about this. These head hurlers are doing quite a bit of damage to my infantry just because they are anti-infantry missile units, which makes them very difficult to catch and kill, considering they do quite a bit of damage. But my infantry mass is plenty large enough to just chase after these guys without much worry of them routing. And at this point, I actually think I am out of cavalry. Yes, I actually am out of cavalry at this point, but that is the situation. I'm just going to continuously chase these guys. It's pretty pointless me showing you this. I'm going to chase them down and kill them quickly, but I will put it in fast forward just so we can see the results screen. I don't really understand why my opponent really thought I was a hoplite spammer in this case. because it's kind of ridiculous, but that's just sometimes what you get with the Total War community. It's amazing that my first match back, I'm already accused of spamming with required rule set. I really didn't expect that, but I just kind of shrugged it off. I didn't really care. And I'm just going to catch these guys over here. And I really have noticed something. When your infantry is chasing missiles, they have a perfect opportunity to catch them. Then they, like, stop. And then they're going to charge in. But I see that this is getting me nowhere, so I'm just going to bring my slingers up and rout them off the field. And that is the end of the fight. Here is the battle results. He ended up getting 462 kills and had 158 men remaining. I got 1,189 kills and had 714 men remaining. If you're interested, here is the unit statistics. Obviously, my Sacred Band Cavalry got a lot of kills, as well as my infantry. Slingers did quite well, too, for being slingers on a game like Rome Total War. They actually did very well. And that ends the fight, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed that, and I have a couple more matches to bring you guys.